Another huge pitfall that we ran into. We actually lost tens of thousands of dollars because of this.
That she had this backing by Gary Vee. So we're like, okay, yeah, we can build, because she needed a rebuild of her application.
Before the new show aired.
Which was 3 weeks. So she needed Good morning.
What is happening, everybody?
What's happening? What's up?
The back of my hair is really fluffy today. I don't know.
You guys, I have not washed my hair in a while. So it's up in a pony, like most days. Today, we are going to talk to you guys about some real life business pitfalls that both Josh and myself have gone through.
These are things that we're going to share and why they sucked and how you can essentially avoid it.
Exactly.
Learn from our pain.
100%. Right now, we are off to the coffee shop. Go figure. Actually, I think this is a surf sign, isn't it? Hang loose. Hang loose.
Hello.
Hi. What's up?
This is where Brandy's working.
Yep. Responded to emails.
That's where I'm working.
Responded to emails, making a video. Content creator's life. All right, you guys.
You want to talk about yours, or you want me to talk about mine first?
I mean, yeah, mine can just be quick and brief. So when you are starting a business or a company, make sure if you get a partner, make sure you know that partner on a very personal level. If you don't, I recommend doing a background check on that person, because when you start a business with somebody, especially a partnership, it's a marriage.
Yeah.
It's a relationship. You need to know how this person reacts to difficult situations, to conflicts, when things go great. You need to know how they work under pressure.
Yep. And
you just need to have a very good understanding of who they are as a person, because that's the person that you are building your future with, because that's why you start a business. Those are just kind of some things, some tidbits that I would say about business partnerships. Just make sure you know the person.
Yeah, and a second to that too, which is like, it's when people say going into business with somebody is like being married, it's so true. I would not go into business with somebody unless I've worked with them on a contract basis. I would say no joke for at least 6 months
100%.
to a year. You have to give it enough time so the real side of that person comes out, and that only comes out once people are comfortable. So
Josh always says, sorry to interrupt, Josh always says when you're dating somebody, you need to date them for I think he said at least 6 to 7 months before you really see that person. And the same is true with business. Because when they start getting comfortable and their true colors start coming out, like, you don't want to be in one of those situations where you're like, oh crap, what did I sign up for?
Yes, absolutely. And my gosh, if you don't have to do 50-50,
fight for that 1%.
Fight for the 1%.
And the other thing is, make sure you have contracts in place. Contracts are huge. A lot of times if you go into business with a partnership, you're like, oh, everything is good, it's going to be great. Just like when you go into a relationship with somebody, like, oh my gosh, I have the butterfly, the honeymoon feeling. That goes away. Just like Josh said, true colors come out in every situation, whether that's a relationship or business relationship.
Yeah.
So you need to make sure from day one you have an operator's agreement. What an operator agreement does is it specifies what each person at the company is going to do, what their roles entail, and what is expected of them. That is so, so, so important.
And an out clause. An out clause, yes. Meaning that if things aren't all hunky-dory and when the butterflies fade, you're like, man, this is not somebody I want to be in business with, then make sure you have clear process and clear documented copy that says what happens when we have to split the company? We have to go our separate ways. Who gets bought out? What does that look like? I mean, just make sure that's very clear. Everything's great until it's not. And nobody plans on it not being great, but it can definitely happen.
It's like divorce, you guys.
Yeah, nobody plans on getting divorced when they get married, but it can happen.
But it happens, yeah.
Yeah, so definitely.
We just left the coffee shop, you guys.
Pick up some stuff from the store.
We gotta pick up some household goodies at the store.
Restock. And then back to work.
Well, then we gotta eat and then back to work.
And then back to work. Oh, and we have delicious taco salad.
We made this amazing taco salad the other day, and it's about like 3 pans worth of. It's like a layer of meat with onions and fresh jalapenos, and then cheese, refried beans, meat, cheese, refried beans, meat, cheese, refried beans, meat, cheese, refried beans. We did it again, you guys.
Celebratory Reese Piecey bites.
Yeah. Can I tell them about your thing?
Yeah.
So, you guys all know that Josh works his butt off, him and his brothers. His 2 brothers, they're just beasts at everything. They're like the dream team. I know because I used to work with them and they're my family. But they just landed a massive client. Mm-hmm. And by client, not somebody they're doing work for, but somebody who's paying to use their app that they built.
A customer, yeah. So we're excited. It's been a lot of work since our pivot and since we officially launched in January, and it was a big client that came through, and so we're really excited and can't wait for them to start using the tool.
It's awesome. All right, you guys. So here is our taco salad. I know it looks disgusting. Okay, Josh, this looks way prettier. So, secret, this is actually Josh's thing. I guess his mom used to do this, but
if you go to Taco Bell, you can actually get their taco shells. They only charge you like 15 cents per shell or something.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're huge.
And they're huge, and they taste so good. So anytime we make taco salad, we just do lettuce and everything, but we go and get their shells. And then you also, when you go and buy their shells, you can take a whole bunch of their sauce. And Taco Bell sauce is the best.
It is. So, time to eat.
Another huge pitfall that we ran into. We actually lost tens of thousands of dollars because of this.
Oh, this is a funny one. I actually feel bad about this.
Well, it happened a few times.
Yeah.
So shame on us. Early on, when we first started the business, we were just excited and then wanted to, hustle and do as many things as we possibly can. Well, in that, and there's nothing wrong with that, but in that, we didn't set up proper contracts for work. We just trusted people, kind of handshake deals, and we got screwed literally out of tens of thousands of dollars, like more money than most people make in a year.
This one story in particular, with I think it was the first one that happened, was this girl had reached out to me. She had found me on Instagram, and she was big deal and had been on
Planet of the
Apps, and Gary Vee was like her mentor on the program. And so when I met with her, that she had this clout about her, that she had this backing by Gary Vee, blah blah blah, all this stuff. So we're like, okay, yeah, we can build, because she needed a rebuild of her application
before the new show aired,
which was 3 weeks. So she needed
entire app in 3 weeks.
So, and what happened was, I think it was an iOS app. She needed it both for Android, and we went in there, and it basically needed to be rebuilt.
Yeah.
So the team did at least $20,000 worth of work. We're talking working in and out to get this done before the airing of the show, because once the show aired, everybody would see the app.
And this was when we first started, so we didn't have a ton of money. We didn't have a bunch of resources or anything, really.
We just thought, this might be a good idea because
an app we worked on gets on the Planet of the Apps. Well, she couldn't tell us any details about the show or anything. So all we were led to believe is that it was a huge success. Mm-hmm. Well,
she didn't get funding.
The app essentially, all of the people and the judges said it wasn't a good idea. She essentially bombed. on Planet of the Apps, we didn't know that. We weren't even slightly aware of that. She had signed NDAs and all this stuff, so she couldn't share any information with us. So it was all this hype, all this exciting stuff that we were led to believe. We're like, hey, you know what? This is happening. This will be great PR for the company, working on a popular app that launched on the Planet Apps. Little did we know when it launched, we wouldn't even want anybody to know that we were associated with it. So unfortunately, that was the very first time, and that was painful because we didn't have any money. We were so early on, and we should have had contracts. We should have gotten more information.
We had sent her contracts in place, but she refused to sign them.
And the deadline was approaching so fast. We were just like, oh, you know what? We're working on the terms or whatever. We just made all these excuses to move forward. Long story short, don't trust anybody. Seriously. Unfortunately, no matter how cool they are or who they are, always get a contract in place before you start anything. And also make sure the person has the resources to pay you, because even when push came to shove, we knew after we found all this stuff out and aired and all the truth kind of came out, we knew that she wouldn't have even had the money to pay us, even if we went after her for it. So unfortunately, we lived and we learned, but that's two things: hard contracts in place with actual legal strength to back you up and protect you. And number two, make sure you know who you're doing a project for, because even if you have a contract, all they have to do is declare bankruptcy on their business and shut it down, and you don't get paid. So make sure they actually can pay you too. That one's a little bit harder to find out, but use your gut, use your instincts. You can generally steer yourself in the right direction.
Yeah, we've done it all over here.
Yeah.
So this video, if anything, learn from our mistakes, learn from our pitfalls or hiccups on our journey, because these are really important things. So important.
Yeah.
That I wish I could go back and tell my younger self.
Yeah.
And it's not even that old.
Yeah.
This is a couple years ago.
When you're first starting a business and you're just wide-eyed and you want to do everything and anything because that's what you're taught to do.
Because they're always say yes to everything.
Say yes to everything.
No, do your research first.
Make connections, and that's all stuff is good, but it has to be done with wisdom and it has to be done methodically, or else you'll get burned. And we did get burned a couple big times, and it was a couple big times enough to we learned our lessons and we don't make those mistakes anymore.
All right, you guys, as you can see, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm in my sports bra. I'm going for a run. This video is done. You know what? Give it a thumbs up if you are going to take this and heed by our advice. Or if this has happened to you, give us a thumbs up and let us know in the comments. Because these are easy mistakes to make, but you definitely don't make them twice.
Or in our case, 3 times, right?
Yeah.
We made it twice.
But now you know.
Yeah.
So, if you guys like our channel, we would greatly appreciate if you subscribe to us down below. And we hope you guys have a good day. And we'll see you tomorrow.
See ya.
Bye, guys.